I swear I heard her humming, even though her lips didn't move, and the beads, they were glowing, just for a second. My name is Titi Adeyemo. I am from Ogun State, southwest Nigeria. I never liked school that much, not because of the lessons, but because people always had better things than me. Better shoes, better bags, better jewelry, better clothes, better food. My name is Titi, and I was in SS1 at Ajibade Memorial Girls' School in Ogun State when it all started. It was a new term. Some new students had just joined, and the school was full of noise, laughter, and gossip. My friend Ronke and I were trying to see who the fine or rich ones were, just as usual. That's when she came. Her name was Shola Adebayo. Her father, they said, was a rich herbalist from Ibadan. Her English was polished, and her skin was smooth, like she rubbed shea butter 10 times a day. But it wasn't her beauty or her new uniform that caught my eyes. It was what I saw when I entered the changing room behind the dorms. She was in my cupboard. I stood at the door, shocked. Our school had few lockers, so 2 or 3 girls sometimes shared. I was the only one using that one until now. She was there, half dressed, changing her clothes. That's when I saw them, the beads. Shiny, glassy, beautiful waist beads, sitting gently on her waist like they were dancing. The colors were magical, deep red, with shiny black stones that looked like they were alive. I blinked. The light in the room was dim, but for a moment I could swear they were glowing, just a little. She looked at me and smiled. "You like them?" she asked. I just nodded. Something in my chest moved. I had never wanted anything so badly. "They're special. Not for everybody," she said. I didn't know what she meant then, but I wanted those beads more than anything. I wanted to feel special. I wanted what Shola had. And from that day, I would do anything to get them. The next few days, I stayed close to Shola. At first, it was innocent. I offered her water during break, helped her find her way to the dining hall, and even gave up my corner on the bunk so she could get better light in the mornings. I wasn't being nice. I had a plan. Every chance I got, I brought up the waist beads. "I really like them," I would say. "They look powerful," I added another time. "Where can I buy some?" Each time, Shola would just smile and shake her head gently, like she was hiding something big. But on the third day, she finally answered. "They're not for fashion," she said, still smiling. "They were made for me, by someone who knows me." I blinked. "So you won't give me yours?" She paused. Her face changed. Not angry, not rude, just different, cold. "I'm telling you because I like you," she said. "These ones are not for just anyone. They are bound. If you wear them without permission," she lowered her voice, "they will feed on your jealousy." I laughed, loud, right there by the corner where we sat washing socks. It sounded like a bad line from one of those Nollywood movies. She didn't laugh back. She looked at me for a long time, then stood up, wrung her socks, and walked away barefoot across the cement floor. That night I couldn't sleep. Her words, "they will feed on your jealousy," echoed in my head. Feed on it how? What did she mean? Why would beads be bound? Bound to what? I didn't know, but I still wanted them even more now. I only wanted to see how they felt, but the moment I touched them, something behind me breathed, and the cupboard door slammed shut. I should have listened. But curiosity is louder than fear, especially when you're a teenager in boarding school, surrounded by girls who flash their new bags and gold-plated earrings like it's nothing. I told myself I didn't believe in juju. I told myself Shola was just trying to scare me. But inside, a part of me still wondered, what if she was telling the truth? It was Saturday morning. Shola had gone out early, probably for an errand. I pretended to be asleep until she left, then waited another 15 minutes before sneaking to our cupboard. My hands were shaking. I opened the metal door gently. There was her bucket, her neat pile of wrappers and underwear, and finally, A small round silver container. I opened it. They were there. The waist beads. Shiny, beautiful, almost wet looking, like they had just been washed in oil. The red stones seemed darker today. The black ones almost looked like eyes. I reached out. I didn't mean to steal them, I swear. I just wanted to touch them. But the moment my finger brushed the string, I heard something behind me, like breathing, soft but close. My heart jumped. I spun around, but there was no one there. Then the cupboard door behind me slammed shut. I screamed and pushed it open, my heartbeat racing. No one came. Everyone had gone to fetch water or wash clothes. I was alone. The beads fell to the floor. I picked them up, panicking, and threw them back into the container. My fingers stung where I touched them, a small cut, just one drop of blood. I wiped it fast and ran back to my bed. I didn't tell anyone, but that night, in the corner of the dormitory, I heard the breathing again. This time it came from inside our cupboard. After that Saturday, I started to see things. Or maybe I was just tired. That's what I kept telling myself. I couldn't even talk to Ronke, my closest friend, about my experiences, because if I did, she'd either laugh or report me to the school matron, and I didn't want people thinking I was mad. That night I had a dream, at least I thought it was a dream. I was lying in my bunk facing the wall. The dormitory was quiet, except for the usual sounds. Girls breathing in sleep, the occasional cough, rats scratching inside the roof, nothing strange, and sometimes the chirping of crickets, the croaking of frogs. Then I felt something, a breeze, soft, cold, like someone had opened the dorm window. That's when I saw them, fireflies, tiny ones, floating above my bed, moving slowly in a perfect circle around my bed. Not near the window, not outside, inside. The soft golden lights blinked one after the other, forming a quiet rhythm. I should have been amazed, but I wasn't. I was terrified. Their wings, they made sounds, not buzzing, not fluttering, but something like whispers, faint, like a language I couldn't understand but could feel in my bones. I tried to scream, but nothing came out. It was as if I was under the covers of a spirit. I was conscious but helpless. Then I saw her, Shola. She stood near the door in her white nightgown watching me, not smiling, not moving, just watching. She lifted her hand and pointed to my stomach. I looked down. There was something tight around my waist. Beads. Her beads? I woke up choking, gasping, sweat dripping down my neck. I pulled up my shirt. There was nothing there, no beads, but my waist, it felt like something had hugged it all night. The next morning, I found few dead fireflies under my bed. I wanted to stay away from Charlotte. I really tried. After that strange dream, or whatever it was, I avoided her all through Sunday. I didn't join her for lunch or evening prep, or even when she asked if I wanted to walk to the taps. I just smiled and said, I'm tired, but the truth is I was scared. Scared of her, scared of the beads, and mostly scared of myself. What if I had actually touched something I wasn't supposed to? What if those fireflies were real? What if Sola knew what I did? Sunday night, I cleaned our cupboard and packed my wrapper tightly around my pillow. I didn't want to think about it anymore. But by Monday morning, something changed. I woke up before the morning bell. I had this sharp pain in my stomach, like someone had tied a rope too tight around my waist. I reached under my pillow for my wrapper. And that's when I found them.